Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're going to do a little something. Well, it's not very different. I just stopped doing it because I was looking for a different name and I just came up with entertainment news. That's what I'm going to call it because fuck it, that's what it is. And apparently, when you call something like the weekend wrap up, people don't know that you're talking about just kind of like blog news or whatever. And it's hard to come up with a name so that people will know exactly what you're talking about because I feel like it should have been my most relatable posts or videos because it's a little bit of everything in there. However, it was my least watched videos because nobody knew exactly what they were going to find when they clicked on it. So as opposed to it being like a show that you have to watch in order to understand what I'm talking about and what I'm recapping, I'm talking about everything that happened in entertainment pretty much for the week. So fuck it. Entertainment news. There it is. And we gonna start off with petty news. Ugh. All right, and in petty news, of course, we have none other than the one, the only 50 Cent. He has been in my petty news a billion different times, even though I don't even have that many videos with it, but he has been part of the petty news quite a few times. So unfortunately, the whole thing is about him and his son, his estranged son, Marquise. And the long story short, 50 Cent has been estranged from his son since he was young. Now, when he was little, and I guess, I don't know, maybe they were still together or it was really before he became super famous because you'll see his son in videos with him, some of his first videos where I guess 50 Cent and the mom were getting along. And I'm like, oh my God, his son looks exactly like him when he was little. And look, he still does. So it's very heartbreaking what's happening. The mom, who was the custodial parent, and I guess when they broke up, it was on bad terms, and she wanted more money as he became more famous, and they ended up settling on $6,700 a month, which is pretty decent. But I don't know if it's enough actually. Well, he makes a whole heck of a lot more money now than what he probably did then. And he made money then. But now that he has all these shows and everything, she would have been getting a lot. But she came too early. It's too early. But the mom is quite a character. I will give her that. She's very bitter. She was unfortunate. Well, I won't say unfortunately. She was the custodial parent for Marquise. So, of course, maybe she made it difficult for 50 Cent to see him. She started putting things, according to 50 Cent, she started putting things in his head. And of course, this is his mom. This is who he lives with. So he's going to love her and stick by her or whatever. But now that he's grown, he is coming out saying he wants a relationship with his dad. Now, 50 Cent, of course, is making it seem like no, because if he wanted to, he could have called me. And I'm just like, could he? Like, does he? I just don't feel like he has a direct line or number to 50 Cent. And then come to find out he doesn't. He came back and said he didn't. So they're doing like all these different interviews and all these different lives where they're going back and forth. And it's just heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking because even after the son came and said, listen, I'll give $6,700 for my dad to spend a little bit of time with me, just one day with me, let's sit down, let's talk or whatever. 50 Cent goes and does some petty video about, how he's not going to sit down. Like, just ridiculous stuff. You're a dad. You're a whole grown man. Seriously? So he then goes on the Breakfast Club, and I can't stand the fact that he said, he has this other son and he's trying to leave this legacy for him and everything for him. And I think he does this stuff just to get under Marquise's skin. Like, why would you set out to hurt this child? Now, 50 Cent is saying that, the child has turned on him because of things that the mom said, and he took a picture with one of 50 Cent's enemies or whatever, or son of one of 50 Cent's enemies, and the son came out saying he didn't know who the guy was. He just asked to take a picture, and then he took it and the guy posted it, and it came like a dig to 50 Cent, but that's not what he was doing. So it just seems like as of right now, Marquise is saying, listen, I'm grown now, whatever my mom was saying, she's out of it. And I feel like 50 Cent should not still be taking it out on this little, well, he's not a little boy, apparently he's 25, but okay, so the mom did some things, the mom got in his ear, but you're the grown up, you're the father in the situation. You can talk to him and try to make amends. He wants to make amends. Why are you punishing him? And it's just ridiculous. He's on the Breakfast Club saying they ain't got no money, they ain't got nothing, because, the child support ran out and she never wanted to get a job. It's all about her and the venom against her. And I get it, because even when the son did a video on YouTube, the mom was on there and she's spewing venom at 50 Cent. And I'm like, y'all never gonna get anywhere. And unfortunately, this poor baby is in the middle and begging for his dad to see him. And I don't really think it's all about the money. Like, this is his father, but it's like your dad has spoken. He don't want anything to do. Sometimes, it's easier said than done to just kind of, wash your hands of people. But if you're gonna keep coming out and saying and doing things, letting me know that no, I have no desire to be in your life, I don't want anything to do with you, like I'm trash, then okay, I'm done with you. So it's an unfortunate situation, and I really do hope that they end up finding their way back to each other. 50 Cent is going to regret it later, I do believe. So hopefully he's able to make amends sooner than later. So we'll be praying for them. All right, next in I Know You Fucking Lying news, we have Kanye on Drink Champs. You guys, this is his third time being on Drink Champs. He got rave reviews for the first one, and I don't know the point of him coming back so often. Like, I really don't. He already says everything he needs to say on Instagram, and y'all, I started following him not too long ago and had to stop right after, especially right after the White Lives Matter. Now, anybody who knows I rock with Kanye. Well, I did. Loving me some Kanye, but he is just gone way too far. Like, he's just done too much. It's ridiculous. Like, if he needs help, please get him the help. But I just feel like he gotta be quiet. He gotta stop, especially what he said on Drink Champs. So he goes on Drink Champs, and I was confused as to why this was being so publicized and like, oh my God, we got Kanye, when this came right on the heels of another big publication pulling their interview and saying, nah, he's kind of off the rails. We're not going to give him a platform. We're not going to show the interview. And then immediately you see Kanye's on Drink Champs. Kanye's on Drink Champs. And I'm like, why would somebody else say he doesn't? I know you don't have to do what other people do, but no, he's at the point right now where he's talking crazy. And why would you want to give him a platform to do that? But Noriega did it. He comes on Drink Champs. I didn't watch it. I saw the clips like everybody else. And I was disgusted. The George Floyd stuff that he said about he died of a fentanyl overdose, and the knee wasn't directly in his neck. And you can, I was disgusted. And so they are, the family, or the mom of the daughter, George Floyd's daughter, excuse me, is now suing Kanye for $250 million, and good for her, because what is this rhetoric that you're all putting out? Like, why are you saying this? He's been running around with Candace Owens, which we know that's a disaster. She's a disaster. But that was just too far. It was too much. And then the next morning you have Noriega coming on the Breakfast Club, and I swear to God, as he was talking, I was just like, oh, you are really sticking your foot in your mouth. Like, she can now sue you too. She can sue all of y'all, everybody involved. And she probably will. If she was smart, I would go after all of them, because he sat there and took blame. And I know he thought he was doing something good and saying it for the, public opinion, the court of public opinion. Oh my God, I did so wrong. I should have said something. I should have intervened. I shouldn't have ran the thing. I should have cut the clip. I did it. It's mine. I am the IP owner. It's my show. Like, he was just on it. And as he was talking, I was like, oh God, like, you are just setting it up for her to knock it down and get all the money. Like, shut up, stop talking. And yeah, I just feel like he said that Kanye said when he first came, well, if you guys stop me in any kind of way, I'm just going to walk out. And he didn't want a moment like the Birdman moment when Birdman went on Breakfast Club and just got up and walked out. And again, when he said that, I was like, that's stupid, because it was a big moment. Look how many views that got. Like a 2-minute segment got 1 billion views. Not 1 billion for sure, but I'm just saying, it definitely would have been a moment. And I feel like Charlamagne was saying on the Breakfast Club, as they hung up with him, or no, it wasn't even Charlamagne, it was Joe Budden. You are you, Noriega. Like, you are one of the pioneers. You are one of the, legends or whatever in the game. And Kanye, although he's a legend, he came up behind you. So why are you bowing down to him? Like, why are you cowering to him? If he said some stuff out of line, I don't even know how you can sit there and not say anything. One of his excuses was that he had too much to drink. And maybe that's a problem. Maybe at some point you shouldn't have so much to drink if you know you are doing business. Like, this is business. And even still, I wouldn't let that fly because you all had to edit this. Why didn't you cut it out? Why didn't you cut it out? Because yeah, it was a great sound bite. Like, you knew you would get a whole lot of traction with that, but look at how many people you hurt in saying that. Like, that is very hurtful to the family. It was hurtful to me. I was just like, what is he saying? And I don't know how you can sit up there and talk to him and not stop him at that point and say, hey, I can't let you get that bullshit off. Like, I can't let you get that off. You can't say that here. He didn't do it. And yeah, we haven't heard the last of her in her lawsuit, in my opinion. I feel like she is going to go after Drink Champs, and rightfully so. All right, and now in No One Gives a Shit news, let's talk about Monique Samuels real quick because no one cares. Monique and her husband. I can't remember her husband's name. Is it Chris? Monique? Yeah, it is Chris. You guys, they had this whole thing about them separating, them divorcing, and it was going around the blogs. It was big news. I wasn't surprised because, she treats him like trash. Even though we don't live there, we don't know. Maybe he does or has done some really crappy stuff to her, but basically she's just saying that he doesn't communicate well. Yeah, that can be frustrating, but it seems like from what we saw, you treated him like trash. Like, everything was an argument with her. She's very combative. So after a day of everybody saying they're getting divorced, she ends up coming out. They do a sit down, and it's so funny because there's memes with with Chris as like Derek Jackson's wife, and Monique as Derek Jackson, because he just sat there and he didn't really have a whole heck of a lot to say because Monique runs the show and she's a master manipulator. And she's like, no, we're not getting a divorce. We were never separated. We were just living separately. And I'm just like, what are you saying, girl? Makes sense. Make it make sense. But we just don't care enough. So then people started saying, well, maybe she was doing it as a publicity stunt for the very boring show that they have that I will not watch. I'm sorry. I can't watch that show. I watched it. Now that I know, not reviewing, not even watching that because I got no pleasure out of that show whatsoever. It was a terrible show. So if she's doing all that for the show, girl, good luck with that because we just don't care enough. He's a nice enough guy. Wish them nothing but the best in life, but yeah, I don't care if they divorce or not. At some point, they will divorce because, again, she treats him like crap and he needs to move on. His mom was right. Listen to your mom. All right, let's touch on the Nicki Minaj and Latto situation real quick because I did not look at all the tweets back and forth. They were going back and forth for quite a while. But I did hear the message that Latto, she sneakily recorded Nicki on the line, and I guess it was a good thing she did because it just showed how she was being treated. But little backstory, Nicki Minaj has a feud going on with the Grammys because they wanted to take her song, which is it's not a great song. I don't even know the name of it. It's something Super Freak. It's not Super Freak, but it has something with Freak, and I think she was sampling Rick James' Super Freak. That's the only best thing about the song, according to, I think I've only heard it once, but I was just like, oh, make me want to go listen to Rick James. But they took that out of the rap category and put it in pop. She was upset and said, listen, if you're going to do that, then you have to take Latto's song out of the rap category and put it in pop as well. I have no idea what Latto's song is. I'm not even going to lie. But why did you have to mention her? Why did you have to point her out, single her out? Like, what was the big deal with that? Just say, listen, I am not pop. If you're going to do that to me, do it to the other people, etc., etc. But, they're going back and forth. Not a big deal, right? Because that's kind of what Nicki does. However, when Latto drops the receipts or the proof, I hate the receipts, when she drops the phone call and just listening to the phone call, I was disgusted. I was just like, oh my God, Nicki is really bullying this girl. And especially because this girl is saying, listen, I have respect for you. I'm not going to talk to you a certain kind of way because I have respect for you. Although she could have been putting on as well because she knew she was recording. You know what I'm saying? So if you know you're recording, you are going to try to come off looking the best. You are going to talk a certain way and try to keep your cool and make yourself be seen in a good light. Now, had Nicki been recording, maybe she would have been giving it back to Nicki. You just don't know. But in the recording that I heard, Nicki was just like being super bossy and rude. And I was like, she is really trying to boss this little girl around. I mean, she's not a little girl, but she's a young girl. And she just comes off as the mean older lady. So Latto kind of started talking to her like she was the mean older lady. And in her post, she was saying stuff about her age or whatever. And then, Nicki comes back about her age shaming and it's not a big deal. Listen, I'll give it to them that they were having some good comebacks. Like, they were getting their shit off. It's fine. But it's unfortunate because I really do feel like there's enough room for all these women. All these rapper women that are just like really feuding. It's what for? If y'all all making money, y'all all making hits or whatever, why are y'all feuding? What's the big deal? But I just wanted to touch on that because it was definitely in the blogs this week, and I just need Nicki to grow up. Ma'am, you're a grown woman, a mother. Grow up and leave these little girls alone. All right, y'all, that's kind of it. Like, there's no more news. Most of the news was Kanye news. Kanye and such beefing. Kanye and this person. Kanye said this about that person. It's all Kanye news, and I'm over it. I'm done. Other than the federal appeals court blocking the student loan forgiveness, what the fuck is going on there? Like, cut it out. Let it happen. Everybody was so happy and putting their applications in. Listen, let it happen. Leave it alone. The last thing is, you guys, Netflix, The Watcher. Are you guys watching that? Because I have heard mixed reviews. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I should watch it. Some people said it was good. Some people said it was good up until a point, and then it got ridiculous. And, Ryan Murphy always messes up, is what they say. I don't know. But if you guys watched it and it was good and worth watching, let me know. Is it scary? Should I watch it in the daytime? Like, should I run and try to binge it now? Because I will not be watching at night if it's scary. Let me know. And if you are still here, you are the real MVP. If you have not already, please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free of charge and doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but it means a lot to me. Like the video, comment, let's talk about some things. Again, let me know what you think about Kanye, what you think about Noriega and his statements. Nicki Minaj, did you hear the leaked tapes? And then let's talk about what's his name? 50 Cent. Is he right? Is he wrong? Are you heartbroken for Marquise, or are you over it? Like, do you feel like he made his own bed even though he was a child? Like, how could he make his own bed? Look, I'm all ready to debate already. But all right, again, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to my new subbies. Smooches.